Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bull Prospecting. So, I wasn't able to squeeze all them chips in the last batch. So, what I'm doing here is I had some comments and people saying, well, I don't know how I'm able to do this so quickly with my AP. People are like, oh, I've had my stuff sitting in there for weeks and, it's still doing the same thing. One thing to keep into consideration, see, I'm going to put these in now and I'll give you a time check. And see, some of these were already done from the previous video, but I had another batch so I could just fill up the rest of the... I gotta pull this guy out of there because he's still got the connectors inside. So basically, I just gotta soak these to get the rest of the copper off of here. And as you can see, let me just try to zoom in on some of this stuff so you can get a look at it. Now, some of the copper's already been taken off, but see how we got them legs on there? Like I said, some of these were processed from the last batch, but I didn't have enough to fill the can, so I just went and grabbed another bag real quick. And then now I'm just going to go ahead and, get rid of all the rest of these legs. Let me move these around a little bit, give you an idea. But we're going to get rid of all these legs, and we're going to show you what I use to do it so quickly. So let's check it out. Okay, so now for all you naysayers out there that say, oh, AP don't work that quick. The reason my AP works so quick, I just want to get this through to people, that this cess flow is a high concentration of hydrogen peroxide. It's not 2%. This is somewhere between 30 and 40%. That's why I'm able to put this in AP and be done within a couple hours. You can use this same treatment for hard gold foils. I'll show you guys how I do that. That's real fast, but you do got to be careful. You put too much in and you'll actually put your gold into solution, and you don't want that. So there's like a perfect medium that you need to get. But this is what I use. You guys do your own thing. I do my own thing. This is what I use, and we'll show you how it works. So this is how it's able to work so fast. And you can see that it contains hydrogen peroxide. That's it. That's all it is. So let's go ahead and see if I can open this up. Like, again, we just want to cover the chips. And already we got a reaction. Now, just so you know, if you do have time and you can just let it sit and you're not like in a time crunch, you could literally just use muriatic acid. It'll take forever, but if you don't have, you use what you got, So let me go ahead and dump this in, and I'm going to show you guys in real time how quick. Now, just look at this juice. Look at this. See how, like, it's really not that green? See that? Now, when I put this in, watch how quick the reaction is. I can't hang out, though, near it, so... But, see all those legs? Hold on, let me see what time it is right now. Okay, so it's 11:41 on our AM dial. So let's go ahead and put this in. Now, what I'm trying to show you is, like, again, see how clear that liquid is? Watch how quick it turns green when I put this in. See how quick that's turning green? Okay, I gotta get out of Dodge, starting to react. Look at that. That's how quick this stuff works. I figured just so you can see for yourself, I just leave this kind of recording so you can see it eat it all up. And not to mention, guys, it's really cold out. I get these negative comments that drive me nuts. Oh, you're faking videos. Yeah, I've had, my AP don't work like that. It does, man. It's your concentrations that determine your outcome. Like, for example, I'll show you guys how you can do this, how you can strip gold foils off stuff with just white vinegar. White vinegar, that's it, man. It's going to take you probably a month, but you can use white vinegar. It'll do the same thing. And this right here, and I put a little top on here just to kind of keep all the fumes down. So we're in now for about a minute. No heat at all. Just natural sunlight. What I'm trying to do is I'm keeping an eye on this guy right here. Look at that. Just took off a whole chunk. You seen that? And the thing is, look at that whole chunk just came off. Look at. See that? Remember that piece that was just hanging down? Gone. That's just proof on how fast this works. I figured, I didn't want to have to bore you guys with watching metal dissolve into a solution, but I had to do it so you guys could see how great this works. Look at how quick it's eating those up. We're 3 minutes in right now. Look at that. You seen that other piece just fall off? That was look. We're 330 right now, and look. Watch the rest of these legs. They're gonna fall off right after them. This is AP. You're watching this in real time. There it goes. Look at it. Gone. 4 minutes. So I'm guessing this will probably be ready in a half hour. But we're going to let this sit for an hour. And you can kind of see where the sun is right now. It was late for that next little leg to just fall off there. See what I'm saying? How quick that is, man? That's why, like, when I get, hate comments, man, I just delete them, dude. There's too much negative in this world. If you ain't got something nice to say, don't say it. It's all about happiness. Oh, yeah, look at that. We're making progress, guys. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's how you make money. Is speed. Right now, my speed isn't all that great because I don't have my shed up and running. But if I had my shed up and running, my fume hood, my turnaround time would be way faster. And not to mention, I'll just show you guys my little hoard of stuff where I get my gold from. But look at it, man. You know, we're 5 minutes in. Look at how much is gone. Let me zoom out a little bit. Look at it. They're almost all gone, dude. So this is how I do it, and it works great. And then what we're going to do from after this is we're going to send it right into the pyrolyzer. Look at that. 6 minutes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs are almost all gone. And that's how quick the AP works, guys. So I figured I'd show it to you in real time, and look at how green that juice is already. Sweet. So we're going to leave this on there for about 45 minutes and get to pyrolyzing. Yeah, buddy. And then I'll show you guys what we do, because I have people telling me I don't have a silver cell. Other people are telling me it's my stock pot. So just so everybody knows, I have a stock pot and I have a silver cell. The silver cell's not hooked up yet. All I have is the silver solution. I just haven't hooked it up yet. I'm gonna do that in the future, but like I said, I just haven't hooked it up yet. So we'll start growing some silver crystal here, you know, next week or two. Look at that, man. Yeah. Quick, fast, dude. Lightning. Alright, we're going to let this do its thing and come back in 45 minutes and throw it in the pyrolyzer. Okay, guys, I'm going to call that good. All done. I had my lunch. It's 2:30 now. Oh, excuse me. Now we're going to go ahead, rinse these off, and get to pyrolyzing. So let's make it happen. Hey guys, there it is. You know, see, look at how clean they are. That was quick. Real quick. Same day. Now I'm going to throw these in the pyrolyzation can. But look at how clean they are, man. See what I'm saying? Now that stuff's not going to end up in our solution, and that's huge. And that's not metal, that's a reflection. Look at that, all clean, guys. All clean. Now let's toss them in the can. Okay, as you can see, guys, I wasn't able to fill up the can. That's why I had to process them other chips. So what I'm going to do is take them other chips and just put them in here, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't wasting anything, and I wanted to make sure when I did a batch, I filled this all the way up. So I'm going to put the ones we just cleaned right in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these in here. Should have topped this right off, huh? Just about. Didn't fill it up all the way, but it's pretty close. Didn't fill it up all the way, but that's pretty close. That's good enough. So let's go ahead and throw another shrimp on the barbie. Pyrolyze these bad boys. Just gotta throw the top on it. Here we go. Okay, so I've had a couple of viewers ask me, what's my setup. So basically, I got this big rim here, and I've got air intake that comes up. I got this lifted off the ground a couple inches, the rim. And then I got a little screen down there, and you can see that hole down there in the very bottom. That allows air to come in from under the sides here, to come underneath, to come up in the middle. And then I got this screen here just to keep that airflow going. And then now, all we do, get our can set in here just how we want it. There we go. Now we're just gonna go ahead, pile a bunch of wood around it, and set it up. Hey guys, so I got my wood in there. Now it's just a matter of getting the torch going and lighting it up. Hey guys, so I'm gonna get this thing fired up and get it nice and red hot. And then once it's all done, I'll take the top off and I'll show you what it looks like inside. So first off, we want to pyrolyze these and get rid of all that nasty stuff that's inside those chips so we can work on them more efficiently. So let's get it going. There it is, guys. I got the fire started. Now what I do is I just use my leaf blower and I just lightly hit on the trigger and I start raising that temperature. Soon we'll start seeing the gases coming out of them little holes and evaporating. It's basically getting incinerated. And the can is starting to get hot, and if you look at the holes, you'll see where the gases are starting to expand, and as soon as them gases come out of them holes, they ignite. They're just starting up now. Let me get this thing a little bit hotter so you guys can see it in full effect. As them chips, the plastic breaks down, it creates a gas, and that gas builds up inside the top of that expansion chamber that I created where that pressure top is, and the gas forces itself down, and then you get total incineration. So there's nothing being put into the environment. It's clean. Pyrolyzation, man, this is the way to do it. You want to get that can red hot. The hotter the better. See it burning up that gas? See, there's no smell at all. None. Just smells like a regular campfire. See how it burns that gas right up, man? That's awesome. Now you ain't got to sit there. I mean, I still go at them with the torch after this. But when you do, they're so easy. They're so much easier to deal with. Like I said, there's no stink. Nothing. It's just a regular campfire. Look at that. It's awesome. So, we're going to pyrolyze these and then get them into the iron pan. Okay guys, there it is. I took it off the fire. It's super, super hot. Now I just gotta use my screwdriver to take that off, that bolt off, but I gotta let it cool down for a little bit. So I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes to cool off and then take that top off. And then go ahead and dump it in the iron pan. Okay guys, there it is. Now it's time to go ahead and dump them in our iron pan. I have to bang this out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, looks like we got all the chips out of there. Yep. Okay. Now, let's whiten these bad boys up. See, there's no fumes, no smoke, no chemical. Alright guys, so I'm going to finish this off, turn these all white, and throw them in a tumbler. Okay guys, all done. Took about maybe 20 minutes. There's a lot of chips in there, but each and every one of those is nice and white. Now I just got to let them cool down and toss them in the tumbler. All right. Let's get them in the tumbler. Okay guys, now I got them in the tumbler jars, and you can see they're nice and white. Look at that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw my bits in there like I normally do. I got 3 per unit. This one's got a little bit more meat and potatoes than this one. So, but it works out anyways. So we're gonna go ahead and put these on the tumbler. Well, there it is, guys. It's on the tumbler. I have to go help a buddy out tomorrow, so I'm just gonna let this spin all day tomorrow, and then the next day we'll take it out and rinse it off. So we're gonna let this sit for a day or two. Okay guys, so it's done tumbling. It was tumbling for roughly 2 days. Now what we're gonna do, which is a very important step, is we gotta screen it. We gotta get all the big chunks out of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open these guys up and dump them in here. And the reason I like using a tumbler is, see how the chips, the silicone square part is still intact? Because if not, usually it'll get all crunched up and in the mix. Okay, now from here, we're going to spray all this stuff off. Okay guys, we're going to clean off all our parts and then finish everything in the bucket. Hey, there it is guys. Got it all screened out. And all we're left with is pieces of copper, lead, and some tin. But you can see all the wires are clean. All the gold is now in the container. Now what I do is I actually save all these copper pieces because you can melt these down into a real nice chunk of copper. So let's go ahead and get to washing off our material. Get this out of here. And that is what we're left with. A bunch of mushy gushy gold sauce. So let's get our surfactant and put that in there. Okay, so now what I just use your regular standard pull drop down. It just helps to drop all the, it's a flocculant that helps particles fall out a lot faster. So you're not waiting forever for particles to drop out. Now we just gotta add some water to this bad boy. Okay, now we gotta pour some water in there. Trying to pour it on the edge. Okay, and we stir that. The reason it's important to stir is because you want to get all those particles saturated. You don't, because gold can float. So if gold is super clean and super dry, it will float on top of your water and you will lose some gold. So it's important to make sure everything is completely saturated. Now, have you noticed, see the stuff floating on top, that gray cloud? I like to stir it until that cloud does not exist anymore. Okay, I still got some floaters, so we want to eliminate that. Let's add some more flocculant. Okay, so just gonna go ahead and rinse this over and over and over again until it's clean. There it is, guys. Look at that. That is a nice amount, dude. That is a real nice pull right there. Look at that. That's huge. It's all the way up the side. Look at that, man. That's awesome, dude. That's huge. That is huge. Try to zoom in. Wow. Look at that, dude. Let me get a better grip on it. Look at that. It's all the way up the side. All the way down at the bottom. That's nice, dude. That's nice. Alright. Next step is dissolve our base metals. Okay, guys. So now we've got all our material nice and rinsed. We got it all nice and rinsed. We got, I'd say, at least 75% of the carbon out of there. And now what I got is, we got 40 milliliters of water, and then I'm going to do 40 milliliters of nitric. So pour this in. Pour that in, and now we'll pour in the nitric. Gotta fill this up. Okay, and I got 60 mLs of nitric. Now we're gonna pour this in here and get out of Dodge. Okay, now I'm just going to put just a touch over 20 mLs of sulfuric to my solution. One of the reasons I use the sulfuric acid is not only does it help the reaction start back up, but it gets rid of any lead that may be present. What we want to do is eat up all the base metals. A little too close for comfort there. One of the reasons I use the sulfuric acid is not only does it help the reaction start back up, but it gets rid of any lead that may be present. What we want to do is eat up all the base metals. A little too close for comfort there. Okay, the reason I use the sulfuric acid is to get rid of any lead that may be present. Again, we want to dissolve all the base metals, and the object is to leave just behind the gold. So we do the first nitric, get rid of all that red gas. Once that's, goes away, then I go ahead and add my little bit of sulfuric to it, and that gets rid of any lead and any lead-based metals that could be present in the solution. And so now we're left with just gold at the end. That's the idea. So we're gonna let this run its course and see what we got in the filter. Okay guys, it's done dissolving, but I wanted to show you something. Look at that. It's like a thick paste. What's up with that, huh? That's crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead, add water to this, and then run it through a filter, and then all that should be left is gold sediment. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay guys, now we've got it draining. My solution actually froze, so I had to use warm water, and now I'm just basically letting this filter out, and then we'll see what our sludge looks like. Maybe we can melt it down without having to do aquaresia. So we just got to let this do its thing. All right guys, so we got to continue to treat this because there's still copper in the solution. I mean, there's still little chunks of copper in there that we got to get out before we can go ahead and put everything into aquaresia. So you got to get rid of, let's try to zoom in and see if you can see that. But you can see how there's still a little bit of copper in there. We don't want to get that mixed in our aqua regia. We want to get rid of all base metals first, then put our gold into aqua regia so we can get it real pure. So we got to run this through one more time, but this should do it. So now it's a lot warmer today. It's day 2. Actually, technically, it's day 4. And like I'm not doing this to make money. It's just I do this for fun. This is my hobby. So, but we do want to get it faster if possible. But this is still a good time for me, and I'm just showing you guys what I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this another treatment and get rid of the rest of these base metals so we can put our gold into aqua regia. So I'm gonna dump a little bit of nitric acid in there now. This guy. I'm gonna put a little bit of sauce in there and then just let it go. Okay guys, our reaction has started. It was pretty quick. Now we just gotta let this sit and do its thing. Okay guys, so here's our material after our second soak. Now all we used was water, nitric, and sulfuric, and that's to get rid of, the sulfuric is to get rid of any lead. This is our second soak, and in my last video what I was trying to do was get rid of all base metals so I would just be left with gold sediment that I could melt. The problem with that is I had little microscopic silicon pieces in the mix, which were kind of throwing things off because it takes a lot of heat, a much higher temperature to melt those silicon pieces than it does gold, and they get caught in your dish and it's a nightmare. So that's why I had to put it into aqua regia. Hopefully this time around I don't have a lot of that in the mix because I really rinsed the heck out of this stuff this last time around. So now what we're going to do, we're going to pour it through this filter, and if it looks good, we'll go to a melt. If it looks like there's too much silicon, then we're going to have to put it into aqua regia. So go ahead, and I need 2 hands to do this, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to just put this on pause, but once I get this all loaded up into the filter, I'll just go ahead and show it dripping down into there. Look at how brown that looks. That's like a perfect caramel brown. But I can see little tiny pieces of silicon chips locked up in it. But look at that nice ultra fine sediment of gold trapped in that filter. Dude, that's awesome. But that's a pain of it, is you know, you got to be careful you don't lose any through the filter. So that's the only pain in the butt. So I'm trying to be very careful because I can see the microns floating on top, and I'm trying very careful to pour this, but we're gonna get some in the filter. There's nothing we can do about that, so we're just gonna have to go for it. So here we go. I'm gonna try to do this with a couple hands here. The idea is to go as slow as you can. Oh, of course, it's windy. Of course. I'm doing something, so all right, we're just going to go for it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get my sprayer because I got a little drip right there. And you know, when you're doing this stuff, every drip counts. So let me get my spray bottle and spray that off. Alright guys, I hate to say it, but We still got copper in the mix, man. Yeah. You know, it must have got too saturated, the solution, and it couldn't hold anymore. So what I got to do now is add more nitric and add a little bit more, add some more water, so we can, you know, I'm going to dump the rest of this out, you know, trying to leave as much of that sediment behind as possible, and then add water and nitric, and hopefully we can, you know, recover this gold soon. How cool is that, man? I love doing this stuff. I really do. I enjoy this. Honestly, it's more fun than anything. And then there's a reward at the end if you do a really good job. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean this out. I'm going to rinse this and then add some nitric to it. We're going to do, so this would be wash number 3. Okay guys, now I'm just using natural sunlight, and as you can see, the jar's filling up with red gas. That's the rest of that copper being dissolved. So we're just going to let it run its course, and look at how quick that thing's turning red. So we're going to go let this sit, do its thing. Okay guys, it's nighttime. We've dissolved our solution. Now we got to filter it. Sorry for it being so late, but I had to fix the wife's car. She had an Equinox, and if anybody knows about the Equinox, you know they're a nightmare. So now I got to filter this and see what we got. There it is, guys. I'm gonna have to put this in the aqua regia. There's a lot of ultra fine stuff mixed up in there, so we're gonna put this in the aqua regia and get it out that way. But that looks sweet, man. Alright, time to put it into solution. Alright guys, all the base metals have dissolved, and now you can still see we got a little bit of silicon chips in there, so that's why we want to put the rest of this in the aqua regia. So we got all the base metals out, and the last bit is to put this gold into aqua regia and then precipitate it out of solution. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my aqua regia in now. Okay guys, there it is. The gold is in solution. Look at how nice and gold that looks. So that's when I washed it 3 times, and that is definitely the way to go. So I washed it 3 times, and that was definitely beneficial. Look at how nice and gold color our solution is. It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. So I'm going to start doing this. Is going to be the standard from here on out. It's going to be 3 washes. Wow, dude, that's sweet. Yeah, I left this overnight, all day yesterday. I basically put this on there and let the sunshine do its deal. Sunshine pretty much took care of it all. Look at that. I'm gonna try to get a better grip on this. Oh, nice and gold that came out, man. That's huge. Maybe like a ½ gram in there or something. So now here's the cool part. Now here's where I'm gonna drop it and denox it all in one shot. So this is my cool part. So we're gonna add half a cup of water to this, and then I'll show you guys my secret ingredient. So time to get to the next step. Okay guys, there it is after it's all been filtered. Look at that, man. That looks sweet, dude. That looks real sweet. So now we're gonna go ahead and put it into this beaker. As you can see, we do have a little bit of sediment here, and that right there is tiny gold particles that didn't make it through or didn't dissolve all the way. And this also very well could be silver, but we're not going to get this in the mix. We'll melt this down and see. It looks to me like it's silver, but we're going to melt this down with all our other filters at a later date. Right now, we're going to focus on this guy. We're going to empty him into this bad boy. Okay guys, there it is. Now I'm going to add some water. I don't have distilled water. You're supposed to use distilled water. That's what everybody uses. I don't have distilled water. This is what I use. You know. So here we go. I'm gonna add. We want to get a little bit more in there so we can have a nice solution for it to drop out of. So let's bring that up to 600 ml. Okay. Now, trying to drop it like it's hot. So, you guys have been probably wondering how we're going to denox it and drop it all in one shot. Well, let me show you my secret weapon. So, I'm going to use caustic soda, just basic drain cleaner, to go ahead, and it's going to denox it and drop it out all in one take. And I'm thinking 1.5 spoonfuls is what I'm going to use, because the stuff expands and you don't want to have, you know, a huge amount of this stuff stuck in the bottom. So I may do a little less than 1.5. I may do like 1.25 spoons. So what I'm going to do is dump that in there outside and show you how quick this works. Okay guys, so what I was hoping was I was going to use the caustic soda to denox and drop the gold all in one shot. So what I did is I did 3 spoonfuls, 3 plastic spoonfuls, not heaping, just regular plastic spoonfuls of the lye, right? Did 3 plastic spoonfuls, stirred it, didn't see nothing. So then I said, okay, waited for a minute. I had my, like, remember, because we need this as a catalyst for the heat. So I was able to heat it up with the lye. And then what I did is I did 1 big heaping spoonful of the stump out. And it was like instantaneous. And you can see it. It's dropping out right now. And look at how nice that looks. I honestly think this might be the best one. Like the best melt to date. So we're just going to let this sit and do its thing. So I'm not going to use urea anymore. For now on, when I denox, I'm going to use the caustic soda, the lye. And basically it was 3 spoonfuls of lye, stirred it up, wait for a second, and then 1 spoonful of stump out, and stirred it up, and there it is. So now it's a matter of just let it settle. How cool is that, man? You can already see how nice and gold it looks. Alright, so we're just gonna let it settle down, and we'll pick up the pace tomorrow, get our stuff, and melt it down. Okay guys, it's the next day, and if you look in there, this is probably the best batch so far. Look how nice and clear that water is. We're not going to mess with urea anymore. Urea is no good. I'm going to try to pick this up lightly. Let's try not to stir that around. Try to pound a basketball. Look at that, man. There's our gold sediment at the bottom. Let me get this thing. So now what I gotta do is just get the water out of here. See the top of it is. Got some floatings. That's gonna be alright. It's not gold, so that's good. So we're gonna go ahead, get this water out of here, and get that gold dust that's in the bottom. I'll show you the bottom here. It looks good. I'm losing grip, so I gotta let go. Okay guys, as you can see, I had got some stuck to the bottom of the beaker right along here. I'm going to try to scrape that off as best I can, but if not, my next batch is going to be all plated material, because I did have a subscriber send me some plated jewelry that we're going to go ahead and get the gold off of. And here is our sediment, which looks really, really good, to be honest with you. This is probably one of the cleanest ones we've done so far. But now it's time to get this in the crucible and melt it down. But it's looking really good. I'm wondering how much that's going to weigh. We'll find out. Okay guys, there it is in the melting dish. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle some borax on top of that and hit it with a low heat, because I don't want to blow all that stuff out of there because it's super fine. So I'll melt this and we will be right back. Okay guys, let's see what we got. Scale activated. Yeah buddy, 1.1 grams. Dude, that is huge. I am super happy. Look at that. Look how nice that is, man. That is like at least 23K. At least. At a minimum 22. Look at that bad boy, man. That thing is sweet. Wow. I'll try to get really close up on this thing. Wow, look at that, dude. That is sweet, man. That is sweet. I'm trying to get this light out of here. It's kind of bright, too bright. Wow, man. That is sweet, dude. I am super happy with that. That come out nice. Wow. 1.1 grams. Yeah, buddy. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll put some real super close-ups at the end. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.